Hey everybody, Who's Your Jedi here with another review for you. This time talking episode 19 of season 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. called The Dirty Half Dozen. And this episode we do get to see basically the original cast back together again out there on a mission. Only, well, what a difference a year makes, huh? Things are not quite as happy on the bus as they used to be. So let's just kind of get right into what's going on with everybody. And this episode is fun in a lot of ways, especially with just all the enormous amounts of bullshit and hypocrisy that people are calling on each other. You know, May and Coulson call bullshit on each other. You know, May's pissed that Coulson has been keeping Theta Protocol and seeing her ex-husband behind her back as his psychiatrist. Coulson reminds us, like, hey, you were basically spying on me for Nick Fury. And, it is pointed out that by Gonzales and his people that Coulson is basically running S.H.I.E.L.D. exactly the same way Nick Fury did. And we all frickin' saw where that went. He's keeping things from the people who he is closest to, engaging in hypocrisy, and it's just Coulson, I love you, dude, but yeah, you got some bullshit going on, man. But still, Gonzales is definitely the bigger dick on this one. He makes it very, very clear that he'd be totally happy if Coulson's people got killed on this mission, and then he just basically wants to get his hands on some powered people, and it's not for any reason that is sort of like, we should probably, like, basically he's not interested in treating these people with dignity and respect. This is, okay, let's throw them in a cell until we decide we can figure out a use for them. So really, he's pretty much not hugely better than Hydra on this one. Although, nonetheless, it was still extremely satisfying for Coulson to just, say, okay, you want the toolbox here, go nuts. By the way, Nick Fury is probably going to want that back. And by the way, I have to go and talk to Maria Hill now. Now, Maria Hill, remember, is currently working for Tony Stark. That's what she did. She went and joined Stark Industries. And she even offered to bring Coulson in on that early in the season. The Avengers apparently still don't know that Coulson is alive. We'll kind of talk about that, I suppose, when I do my Age of Ultron review, which I'll probably knock out on Saturday. I've already talking with some people to go and see it on Friday when it comes out here in America. So please, no spoilers in the comments or anything like that, okay? I am trying to go into this movie knowing as little as possible because I want to be surprised. But yeah, Maria Hill and her connections to Stark and all of that, she's in a really great position to really bring the hammer down on Gonzales. Possibly even literally Thor's hammer, given that Theta Protocol is call the Avengers, basically. Although if that's the case, then what the hell does all that stuff with the bunk beds have to do with anything? I'm pretty sure the Avengers Tower doesn't need bunk beds. I'm sure the Avengers all probably have their own rooms. Alright, whatever. But anyway, it was very cool seeing the team back together again, and just seeing them go on a mission together, again, just really, really fun, but so much has happened that, you can't go home again. And I really love when Ward is trying to do this outline of the mission, and just everybody's giving him the death glare, and he's like, okay, let's talk about this. You hate me, I get it. And then he goes on, and this is fantastic. He's like, yeah, I know, everything that's happened, it's not the fact that I killed a whole bunch of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, or even that I threw Simmons and Fitz in the ocean. What really bothers me is that we're not buds anymore. Everybody's just like, screw you, Ward. We wish we could shoot you. And then Simmons tries to murder him. I love that. I loved how, at first Fitz thought she was kidding, even though he himself had tried to attack Ward. And Simmons is like, no, I'm totally going to keep my promise that I made to Ward that I would kill him. It points to her for at least trying to keep her word. And, she does manage to succeed in killing Bakshi, who, he was a high-ranking member of Hydra. The world's certainly a better place with him gone. But the really great part is that after she fails, Ward's just pointing the gun at her, and she goes, okay, fine, just do it. And he just looks at her for a moment, takes the gun, and starts walking away. Starts to walk away, and then says, "I'm really disappointed in you." Like, Ward at least gets that he's a bastard and a murderer and a scumbag. But Simmons is supposed to be the nice person, and the fact that she would really stoop to murdering someone, you know, and murdering basically a quote unquote ally during a mission, I mean, that's something that totally Ward would do. So he's just pointing out to her, it's like, you know what, you think you're so much better than me. Well, he's kind of pointing out, like, you know what, you thought you were so much better than me, and look, here you are stooping to my level. I thought better of you. And man, what a knife to the heart. Like, because Ward's right. Simmons really is supposed to be a better person than that. And there she is doing something just as bad as the person that she hates. So yeah, nice one on that. And I also really like that thing with Ward and him leaving Agent 33 with S.H.I.E.L.D. And he gives that really great speech. He's like, I thought I could help her, but there's just not enough good in me. I mean, that was very genuine. But this is Ward. And you gotta wonder, Agent 33 right there in the heart of everything, where people are soon gonna be really, really distracted? Boy, I bet you Ward would like to get his hands on the toolbox. He could have all kinds of fun with that. And there's Kara. Right there. Just saying. Just spitballing. But yeah. Oh, before we go any further, I gotta say, the way they infiltrated that base, like hiding in the debris from the bus and all that, I was like, I totally did not see that coming. That's quite a brilliant move. I'll give them that. That was smart. That was cool. Let me see. Oh yeah, we also have to talk about what's going on with the Inhumans. So we see Reyna starting to like, oh yeah, I can totally see the future, and then it's sort of kind of like dawning on her, was like, okay, I can play this card. She starts trying to maybe build a little bit of a power base for herself within the Inhumans, and of course Jiang does like, no, she's not letting that happen. Of course, this sort of blows up in Jiang's face because it's outed that Sky is her daughter and Cal is her ex-husband. So, Jiang is basically also outed as being a big fat hypocrite. So you have to think that that's probably going to leave Reyna an opportunity to try and exploit that. But we do have to keep in mind this probably is not going to go probably not going to go anywhere too hugely anywhere, because the actress that plays Reyna has been cast on that Preacher TV show with Dominic Cooper, as we mentioned. So she's going to be a regular on that. So while she might pop back up to occasionally guest star as Reyna in the future, I think it's safe to say that season 3 of the show, Reyna is not going to be a regular character. Still. And the thing is, though, that even though he's kind of a dick about it, it's like, let's get back to what's really important, our family. Cal does exactly what I said. Once he sort of realized, like, no, they're not going to basically just kick him to the curb, he calms down quite a bit and seems much more open to being reasoned with, which is exactly what I frickin' said. So, yeah. And of course, now it's just sort of building towards, okay, Hydra is, of course, trying to get their hands on the Inhumans. Dr. List even flat out mentions the twins. Mike and Lincoln are kept in cells that are basically identical to the ones we saw Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch in Age of Ultron. And of course, Reyna has the vision of what's going to happen in Age of Ultron. So, in terms of setting up the events of Age of Ultron, this is actually quite cool. This is really well done stuff. Excuse me. Oh jeez, I lost my train of thought again. Yeah. So the Inhumans. Yeah. So Hydra is already after the Inhumans, and now it looks like Gonzales' S.H.I.E.L.D. is taking a serious interest in getting their hands on them. And I even loved in the trailer how for the next episodes they even flat out said basically it's going to be S.H.I.E.L.D. versus the Inhumans. So they are really going whole hog on the Inhumans on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And of course, you can't help but sit there and wonder, well, what is all this going to mean for the eventual Inhumans movie? But again, that's not going to be for 4 years. 2019 is when that movie comes out. So I think it's safe to say that it will be understood that there are these people out there who are born with these powers. In the Hydra base, they even say this is something in their nature, something in their genetics, and they will probably have settled on the label of Inhumans for people like this. People who are not the result of science, but just from quirks of genetics, because of course Fox currently has the rights to X-Men and the word mutant. But anywho, because it always never really made sense to me. Is like, why do the Inhumans call themselves Inhumans? I mean, yes, they're different than ordinary humans, but why the hell would you choose the name Inhuman? Because if you say the word Inhuman, it's generally not positive. So, that's one of the things about the Inhumans that never really made sense to me. Then again, I've never really understood why Gorgon was called Gorgon, given that his powers have nothing to do with the Gorgons of mythology. Gorgons, incidentally, are the proper name for the monsters that are often erroneously called Medusas. Medusa was the name of one of the Gorgons. There were 2 others. The Gorgons were sisters. See, this is what comes from actually knowing Greek mythology. And seriously, I actually did take a class in Greek mythology. It was one of the only times when I was in school that I ever got an A+ in a class. Oddly enough, one of the other times was in Russian history. But that just was because I had a professor who was enormously susceptible to bullshit. Seriously, like I got assigned to read this book that was 600 pages, The Icon and the Axe, some hugely definitive book about Russian history. Read 1 chapter, bullshitted the rest, got an A. I could not believe that. So yeah, now that we've finished hearing me brag about bullshitting professors back in college, I think it's time to call it here. Oh, before we go, one other thing I want to talk about. Did you remember when Coulson is like, oh yeah, they put it to a vote? How dumb is that? Ha ha ha! Yeah, Phil Coulson hates democracy, ladies and gentlemen. Phil Coulson hates democracy. And it's canon. It's not some stupid ass Fox News hyperbole. We saw it here. And yes, okay, I'm joking, but still. Just further proof that Phil Coulson runs S.H.I.E.L.D. the way Nick Fury did. And once again, remember, we all saw how well that worked. Coulson's a good guy, but dude, seriously, back off on the Nick Fury hero worship, okay? Alright guys, we're going to call it here. As always, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and of course you can follow me on Twitter at Who's Your Jedi. Until next time, take care and have a good one.